Home channel for coaches, upcoming coaches, content creators, service providers, and corporate trainers. So today I would like to keep it real. You know me, I keep it real. I tell you the truth so that the mistakes I did, you don't have to repeat them. So if you are someone in business and you are interested in knowing some of these things, then keep watching. So I would like to tell you why my business failed. And that is one of my businesses that I used to run back in the year 2014. And that particular business failed. Not only did it fail, it failed really hard. And I would like to tell you what caused my business to fail so that you can see what you learn from my business. This is not what you should follow every day of your life. I just want to share my experience. Then maybe you could learn a thing or two from it. And so back in 2014, I was busy minding my own business. I had a business that was running, a corporate training business. It was doing okay, and I was fine. So I get this call from someone who knew me, and they wanted me to go and look at a business opportunity. And since I hadn't been very serious with niching down the way I am today I'll say no. I went to see that business opportunity, and after listening and looking at the revenues, really, I'll be honest today, I thought I would take up that business. So I took up the business, and that business needed me to hire. So I hired workforce. I needed a bigger space than I was using at that particular point. So I hired more space. I invested heavily in that business. Not only did I invest money in that business, I invested emotionally. I invested, hard work into that business. And off we went, and the business kicked on very well. 1 year down the line, I really wanted to quit that business. Quitting I did, stopping I did, but by the time I stopped engaging in that business, it wasn't an illegal business. It was just a business that was slightly out of my line of interest. I think that's what I want to say. And so in 1 year's time, the business was bringing in revenues. It was running its own bills. It was okay. The workforce, they were amazing, but I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't do that business anymore. And so I called it quits, and I stopped doing that particular business. And so I sat to reflect and have a conversation with myself and wonder why that my business failed. And so these are the reasons why my business failed. Number one, wrong timing. Listen, I was already running another business, and it was a baby business. It was upcoming. So I had already invested money in that other business I was doing. I had invested emotionally. I had invested all my life into that other business. It was getting established. Then this opportunity comes. I get off my focus from that business and into a completely new business. And that really messed things up for me. So wrong timing. This could have been a very good business, the one I took. However, the timing was not very good. I didn't use a lot of wisdom to think about the timing of that business. So what that meant is that I stopped attending to my first business a lot because I'm a human being. I have a family to run. I have things to do. Nothing stops really. It's just a new business that comes with its own demands and its own things. So that was totally wrong timing. I should have focused on growing this business that I had started. And once it could stand on its 2 feet, then I probably would have thought about another business. But now I have a new business. It's growing. I can see the growth projectile was very good. It needed me actually to help it, go to the next level. But now I left it to someone to run and got into a completely new business. And as a CEO, if you're running 2 separate businesses that are new, you will get into a lot of trouble. So you'll be focusing on this particular business, and by the time you come back to this other business, you have a lot of issues to handle. So I would come, find the issues in my previous business, spend a week there trying to sort issues out. By the time I come to my new business, there are issues, and I was just a mess. So 1 year down the line, I couldn't do it, so I called it quit. And number 2 reason my business failed. That business was capital intensive. I needed to inject capital into that new business. And so the monies I had saved, I invested that money, and I had employed a lot of people. We needed a lot of, we needed money to run that business. So with time, you know what happened? It is what happens to all of us when we can't focus. I now started using money and revenues from my previous business to run this new business, which is a serious mistake. So I'd go collect money from this business to come and support this business with the hope and support, with the hope and faith that this business will run and this business will make its own money. Making its own money it did towards the end, but by the time I got there, I was tired and I couldn't take it anymore. So that business, I hadn't considered that it would take a lot of money, and so it would mess my first business. So that was the problem number 2, that it was seriously capital intensive. The other reason that business failed, and I feel good telling you guys about this because I know this will save someone a lot of pain and a lot of problems. Number 3, I admit that I didn't critically think about that new business and what it would mean to me, my family, my new business, my employees, and my life, basically. I didn't, put my critical thinking in action. And so I should have run through the day in, day out activities and operations of this new business. I didn't. I had revenue. I looked at the way money was going to come in, and I was game. Let's do this. This business is good. It has money. I've coached a lot of business people who come and tell me, Betty, the reason I invested in this business is because my friend told me it is making this amount of money per day. So you don't put on your critical thinking cap on. Happened to me. I am your coach. I don't want that to happen to you. So you need to actually sit down and think critically. What will this mean to me and to those people who matter to me and to my clients? What will this mean? So critical thinking missed. And because of that, that business had to fail. I didn't think about it. I didn't worry too much about it. And that wasn't good for business. And the other reason why my business failed is the reason that 90% of new businesses fail. And I want to call it revenue lure. There's this lure, this will make you money. This is what you've been waiting for all your life. This is what is going to change your life. You are going to make tons and tons and tons of money. So to put it out in the open, I actually want to call it greed. And that is what is killing businesses. So the money sounded good. And hey, let's be honest, we all want some money in the bank, really. So when you hear there's a business that is bringing quick cash, you want to get in. You don't want to think. And you don't want to critically wonder what will happen to you. So revenue lure, that's how I call it. And that's what happened to me. I thought about the revenues. I thought, wow, this is such a breakthrough. Why would I waste my time in doing something else? Revenues came, but with a lot of collateral damage. The cash lured me, and that got me off my other business that was working well, put my focus on something else that my heart and soul didn't want to do, but the money was calling me. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. We get into this a lot. You probably have a gut feeling that I shouldn't get into this. You've probably been advised by someone or your coach, don't get into that. But the money, the lure of revenues is too strong. And that is what happened to me. And that business, ladies and gentlemen, is one business that gave me a hell of a time. Every day I think about it, I tell my students to be careful and to be critical in what they do. And that there, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason my business failed. I hope and pray that you've learned a thing or two. I see you in the next video.